guys, my name is Misha. Welcome to my channel. So this is my channel where I post all planting related content, and if it's something that interests you, I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. So today we have another episode of My Hoya Alphabet. Today we're gonna go over the letter D. I only have 3 with the letter D, so this should be fast. So the first Hoya that I'm gonna show you guys with the letter D is Hoya densifolia. So she is growing in Lega. She has a lot of roots. Let me see. Let me get her out of here so you guys can see. So look at those roots. So I ended up purchasing her as a cutting at hoyaplants.com, and she was a single stem. And what I did is I ended up cutting it, chopping it, propping it back, and it has become this beautiful full plant. It doesn't matter where I put her, she will do great. She did get some thribs. So if you notice, some of the leaves, the color, it's not as intense, like this one right here. And also I feel like it doesn't like a lot of fertilizer. So when it comes to this one, when I do add, the nutrient solution, I do it half to what it is. I think it's a stunner. I love it, and it grows so wonky, and it's something that I honestly don't want to change. It's easily one of my favorite Hoyas because of how easy it is to grow. It looks like a weed that you find at the woods. I don't know. I just flipping love it, and I love the fact that it just gives me like growth points in every single stem, like multiple ones, and I just love it. I really do. I want to propagate it some more. And the leaves are very, very thin, but they're hard. Like, it's just, I don't know what it is about it, but I have her near my breakfast table because I love looking at it. Like, it makes me smile when I actually look at it. And I know that it's like a Hoya that maybe many of you have and own, but sometimes the most simplest of plants, they bring so much joy. And I do feel like it's gonna be something very easy to propagate and gift to my family in the future as it gets bigger. So we'll see, but this is my Hoya densifolia. Okay, let me go into the next one. So the next one, it's actually an imported plant, and I recently chopped it because I'm gonna do a swap again with Gussie from Gussie's Plants. So this is and he doesn't have this one. So this one is Hoya decianta, and look at her. Look at those leaves. Gussie, you're getting a cutting of this. So she's a beauty. She hasn't done anything for me. She just made it here from an import, and I decided to place her in a chunky mix in soil in a terracotta pot. I just think she's beautiful, and I can't really say much about the care. Right now I have her in the bathroom, so she is in very high humidity, and he seems to love that, and in bright light because I do have a grow light in the bathroom. And also the bathroom, sadly, is the only south facing window. So this one gets south facing window light. And it used to be longer. It used to be like this. This is the cutting that is going to Gussie, so it still has a couple more months to grow. I don't see any roots yet, but it was longer and it was bigger, and the leaf that was gonna come out of the growing point ended up drying out, so I'm a little bummed about that. But I'm sure that because it is in the bathroom too, next to her mom, But she will do well. She's gonna grow nice roots soon. There's so many that I'm propagating that, you know, are showing roots right away, but this is one of my last cuttings. I think I just cut this one honestly like 4 days ago, because he just mentioned that he didn't have it, and right away I'm like, I'm cutting it for you. And he's so sweet. He's like, if it's not ready to be cut, don't cut it. And I'm like, I'm cutting it. So anyhow, and then the very last but not least, who needs a very good drink of water, it's another import, and it's my baby Dicky Eye, who hasn't done nothing, and it's thirsty. Honestly, when I received this one was an imported plant, and the leaves were so yellow. I was worried, and it was so tiny. The leaves were actually baby leaves that were still not hardened, and I for sure thought I'm gonna have to email. This is like, I was so upset. I was so upset because if you know about plants and if you sell plants, you know, one thing that you must know is that you do not send, you know, a 2-leaf cutting that, you know, it's still not hardened, it's still not established, because you are condemning that plant to die, that little cutting to die. And so when it came to this one, I became very worried. I didn't want to place it in LECA. It's one of those things that sometimes, in my opinion, LECA could be, you know, there for the rescue, but other times I rather do it in sphagnum. And this one, I made it come back in sphagnum. And what I did is, when I received it, I soaked it for about 3 hours with forgot the name, with rooting, no, give me a second, with Super Thrive. So that's what I do when I get imported plants. I place them in a bucket of rainwater, preferably, or distilled water, because I do have a distiller. When I don't have any water readily available, then you do use tap water. But then I do a mix of Super Thrive, and I do a little bit of fertilizer. And then after that, I let them, you know, go into their permanent homes. Well, their temporary homes. That would, you know, will be somewhat similar to what their forever homes are gonna be. And I put in this cute little planter. Who sent me this? I can't remember. It wasn't HoyaPlants.com, and this is not the way their little sticker looks. I can't remember, but it was imported, and I know that whoever the person that I imported it from, or the company, aggravated me enough with the way I received the plants that I never used them again. But anyhow, it's a cutie. It's coming back. I am gonna do some slow release fertilizer, and I have it in soil, and I water it once a week, and it's under a full spectrum grow light. The beginning of her time with me, I did keep it in a terrarium for the first 4 months, and then after that it did go into regular lighting. Little by little, what I did to acclimate them to outside the terrarium is that I keep them in the terrarium for X amount of months, and when I'm thinking about getting them out, what I do is that at night I open it. I keep it open throughout the night. The next day I close it, do the humidity the same way, blah blah, and then at night I open the terrarium. So at least it's getting that half and half of very, very high humidity, but at the same time not so much. And then after I do that for about 6 weeks or less, and I feel like it hasn't declined, I move the plant out, and they usually do great. So this is the same thing I did with this one, but I do slowly acclimate them to a less humid environment and more lighting to help that. But yeah, so this is it, guys. These are my 3 plants. Wow, three plants from my Hoya alphabet that began with the letter D. So let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are, and if you have any of these 3 Hoyas in your collection. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And until next time, bye guys.